Alderman Freund.
Here.
Mayor Renner.
Here. Thank you very much. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start with the State of the City address. As mayor, this is my fourth State of the City address, and I'm happy to report that the state of our great city is very strong. Bloomington's assets are the envy of certainly most communities. We have the best trained and educated workforce in downstate Illinois. We've got the highest income levels. We've got a great public school system, lowest crime rate, world-class institutions of higher learning, and an award-winning public transit system, an active regional airport, the site of many corporate headquarters, and of course our strategic location. We're the only one of 5 central Illinois metro areas that are within an hour of each of the others and within 2 hours of Chicago. So we have assets that go on and on. Those are core assets. However, we've had certainly some serious challenges over the last year dealing with our streets and infrastructure and growing the local economy to create more jobs. But we are meeting them and we're poised to make more progress for the future. It's critical to keep in mind that these challenges and problems did not appear overnight and they won't be solved overnight. Many citizens have expressed frustration with how slow sometimes things seem to move, especially when it comes to street resurfacing. And I can tell you that nothing ever moves as fast as I'd like. But when it comes to street resurfacing, there are many issues that are core. We can't pave over streets that we know in 5 years or 4 years we're going to have to replace the sewers on. So we are making progress, but we have to understand that some of these problems are quite complicated. One of our top priorities, in fact, has been fixing streets and infrastructure. The city completed the street resurfacing from the first $10 million bond program over the last couple of years. That bond, along with dedicated revenue sources, means that we put $22 million plus into street resurfacing from fiscal 2014 to fiscal 2017. That's about a 300% increase from previous years. Now we're poised to do even more, make more progress as what I call Streets 2.0, a much larger commitment to help fund the repairs. This will be the largest investment in our city's streets ever. The runner-up being the $10 million street resurfacing bond that we passed a few months into me being sworn in as mayor. There's also been great progress in developing our capital improvement master plans for other long-term needs such as water supply and sewers and our 911 emergency response services. And let's be clear, our response times must be improved. They're literally life and death issues for our citizens. The city's also been moving ahead with other long-term projects such as the Hamilton Road extension, and that promises to be a major improvement in transportation for our community. You'll be able to go from corporate south in State Farm on a 4-lane highway to an interstate without ever going on Veterans Parkway. And there are lots of important economic development possibilities associated with that and transportation movement. As for our city's finances, unlike other levels of government and other cities, our financial situation is very strong. We truly have become a model for other communities or cities or governments to follow. We've got the second highest bond rating possible. Imagine if the state of Illinois followed Bloomington's example. Where we might be today. In Bloomington, we always have balanced budgets and continue to strengthen our reserves. So just because we allocate a certain amount of money doesn't mean that that's what we spend. We almost always have money, sometimes this last year, a few $1,000,000 to return back to our reserves, to return back to our savings for our so-called rainy day fund. And we've done this while making streets and infrastructure and funding our police and fire pensions a top priority. And by we, I mean obviously myself and the council, the elected representatives. We are moving forward. We've received an award, in fact, for our bold and fiscally responsible policies and actions on our public safety pensions. Unlike most other governments, we are not kicking this down to future generations to fund. We've also pursued and analyzed most of the Budget Task Force's recommendations for possible future savings. Let's keep in mind also that we are delivering the same services to several thousand more citizens than we were 7 to 10 years ago, and we're doing it with 100 fewer employees. In 2009, we had approximately 850 full-time equivalent employees. Today, we have approximately 750. We are doing more with less, and we're still moving our city forward. In growing the local economy and job creation, we've had some major successes this year. Most recently, of course, with Rivian moving into the Mitsubishi plant. We've now had a full year of impact of Hy-Vee in Lakewood Plaza, a formerly almost totally abandoned strip mall. We've created a TIF district in the old Colonial Plaza, and now we have Dick's Sporting Goods, Home Goods, and other stores in the new Empire Crossing. That used to really be something that bugged me, not just as a citizen, but as mayor. I get off the airport in our beautiful airport, Carl, and I'm driving in. It says, "Welcome to Bloomington," and there's an abandoned strip mall. Right? That's not the case anymore. It's an engine of economic growth. It's a source of jobs, and it's something that we can be proud of moving forward. You can see if you've driven down Washington Street, the Green Top, Bloomington Cycle Fitness, and Gingerbread House project is really taking shape along Constitution Trail. That's the first multi-million dollar project, multi-million dollar private investment in Bloomington on Constitution Trail, and we hope to have even more of those moving forward. We've also now experienced a full year of remaking of our movie theaters, the IMAX at Galaxy, and the $6 million retrofitting of the Palace into Ovation. Again, a very exciting new business model. In the age of Hulu and Netflix, many theaters are not doing so well. We've also seen that we now have the $25 million Kroger Superstore, the first in the state of Illinois. It's coming right here to Bloomington. And that construction will begin next year, and as I understand, will be opening. It's been delayed a little bit, but in 2018. In downtown, which is, of course, our cultural historic core, we had the first full year of the impact of the Route 66 Visitors Center in the McLean County Museum of History. We must continue to take full advantage of all of our assets, and that includes our historic downtown and Route 66. Since we've closed the funding gap in that proposal, and that was a couple years ago, that is for the Route 66 Visitor Center, we've had a dramatic increase in serious investment in downtown, and particularly in a catalyst project that both our downtown revitalization plan calls for and our community revitalization plan calls for. And that, as we've seen in Normal, that happened to be a hotel conference center. That happened also, in terms of the private interest, be the types of anchors or catalyst projects that private investors were interested in. They were particularly interested next to the Coliseum. There could be all kinds of synergies there. If the Coliseum gets more gigs, then there's less red ink for us to subsidize. There's also more reason for people to come downtown. And so all along, this project had to fund itself. It had to pay for itself. Right now, we're getting no hotel motel taxes on that site. Even the homeless people don't live in the front and center building, right? And so whatever, if we were to rebate future revenues, that's no skin off our back right now. There's not a dime in the budget that the city manager and I have talked about that's coming up that is dedicated to a downtown catalyst project. It has to pay for itself. Now, some communities do provide upfront money. We've tried to be much more responsible and fiscally conservative. And frankly, given the assets that we have, I don't see that there's any reason why we necessarily have to provide incentives that are way too sweet. Now, we've also moved forward in this past year. We've had a full year of the administrative court. In fact, the council got a taste of that the other day when we came in to have our impromptu liquor commission meeting, which was only going to last a couple of minutes. We saw our in full court press, administrative court. The first full calendar year, and what that means is that we can more effectively enforce our building codes, protect public safety, and protect our historic parts of Bloomington and the neighborhoods from deteriorating. In government transparency over the last year, we've built upon our previous progress. The Illinois Policy Institute gave us an F 4 years ago, a 50.7. Today, I'm pleased to report that we got an A+, a 100% from Illinois Policy Institute. The organization has also given us now 2 awards for improved openness and transparency. Now, since the first class of Citizens Academy, Bloomington 101, started in 2014, we have to date graduated a total of 5 classes of participants. Further, the mayoral open houses have continued to be bi-weekly opportunities for direct democracy, direct citizen involvement, and problem solving in real time. At this point, we've had, people can come in, of course, and ask questions, get answers, have problems solved, if possible, immediately and on the spot, if we can do that. In the pursuit of open government, I don't think there's any question, Bloomington continues to be a model for other cities to follow. And our exciting progress has not gone unnoticed. Many national organizations, even over the last year, have given us national awards. Now, I'm particularly proud of the fact that when Google went through in 2015 and identified the technological capitals of the 50 states, not necessarily the political capitals, they named Bloomington as the digital capital of Illinois. But since then, we've got many other accolades, mostly for livability and affordability. And this is, and I thank the Economic Development Council and Nora Dukowitz for compiling this list of half a dozen or so. Bloomington was ranked number 3 of the top 25 college towns in America in 2016 by USA Today. Bloomington is ranked number 10 in the 2016 Best Affordable Places to Live for Families in America by livability.com. Bloomington is ranked number 4 in the Best City to Live for University Graduates in 2016 by Value Penguin. Similarly, Bloomington is ranked number 15 for Best Cities for New College Grads nationally in 2016 by Zumper. The Bloomington-Normal metro area is ranked among the top 50 best places for STEM grads in 2016 by nerdwallet.com. They've ranked us high in some other things too. They seem to think that we are the center of the known universe, and they're very smart people. The Huffington Post in 2016 ranked Bloomington-Normal as one of, quote, the 11 best cities you'd never thought to live in but should, unquote. So while we continue to have important challenges ahead, such as funding capital projects and, frankly, working with Eastland Mall to protect jobs and private investment, there are many exciting opportunities for us to continue the progress that we've made for the future. We're on the right track, and we are moving forward. I'm totally confident that we can and that we will come together to continue to make Bloomington a model city, to a better place to live, work, and play. Thank you very much. I'm going to